Top of the day, Mad Painter here, and yesterday I was given a question or questions, so today's conversation is gonna be a little juicy. Okay, so the first question is how to walk in faith while being true to yourself. Does anybody feel like that? Does anybody else have that question? Are you like trying to find out how to think about this, where to belong? Okay, so first off, from the question that we have questions that we need to ask ourselves. So I'm gonna re-ask the question, okay? So how to walk in faith while still being true to yourself? First question is who are you? Okay, we need to know who we are, what faith is, and how are we going about being this true to ourselves. So, wow, and okay, first of all, I'm freestyling this and it's kind of last minute. So everything is just kind of coming. I didn't have a chance to look up anything, but of course you can Google, you can Google this stuff out. But when we first ask, what is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So faith is the substance. Now let's actually look that up. I could have Googled the definition, the scripture, but you guys can find that. But we're already at the scripture, so we're gonna look and see what substance means. A particular kind of matter with uniform properties, which is one. The real, holy crap, now this is my first time reading this. The real physical matter of which a person or thing consists and which has a tangible, solid presence. Now, low key, that's dope. So, okay, here we are. I'm getting me some education too. So while we're here, faith is the substance of things hoped for. So now we're looking to have faith. We're working on having the seed of faith. And where are we getting this faith from? We are getting this faith from words of abundance, from people who have sought out truth and who have received this truth from their higher creator. We'll just say it like that, from their higher creator. And I choose the Bible because it's from different cultural perspectives, different people, different people's perspectives, showing how they saw God, how God saw them, and about how God is working with man to have and develop this relationship, that it's no longer seen as like a God type thing, but as a family type thing. Like there's this fatherly connection. It's a family type thing. So it's not just such a distance, far away thing, but it's something that is close to us, like within our bloodline. So okay, so here it is. We're at a place of seeking who we are, seeking who God is, and seeking what the truth is. Now, like I was saying, I choose the Bible. You also have the Talmud, the Quran, the teachings of Buddha. There are a lot of people that have a lot of different cultural perspectives of how they see God, of how God spoke to them. And get a foundation starting somewhere, and then ask God about these things. So the whole thing about this is, in seeking who you are, I've discovered when you seek the Creator tells you about everything He created. So you find out about you find out about other people, you find out about the Creator, you find about the creations. It's an amazing journey and experience. So in this, you are seeking truth. You are also seeking who you are, because you really, if in coming in this as a baby and observing babies are all about, there are levels to expressing their needs and their desires. Our place, so where we are, and this is the one in walking in faith, and this is also connected with the other questions that are connected with that. We have the walking in faith, which is an unseen scene, or seen unseen. It's something that is there yet not there. there, yet is there. It's waiting on you. So it's like in a place that we are, in the language that we've learned to speak, we have learned to speak from lack. We have learned to speak in a language that wants to keep us stuck, so to speak. It wants to keep us stuck. It wants to keep us stuck with someone else controlling us. I mean, it's going to be something controlling us either way. And it's more like a thing. I apologize. My mind is like moving super fast with a whole bunch of different things. And as far as with the control aspect, we have habits. And it comes in, you'll either be controlled by your habits of discipline, or you'll either be controlled by your habits of desire. And in reflecting on past, you've had an opportunity to see both. It took you consistency, endurance, and whatever for you to get to certain points, which whether it been through first grade or it had been through the first day at work, you have excelled past the point that you needed to have faith to get to. But you've also seen where your desires and bad decisions and lack of wisdom have put you in places of trauma. I apologize, not trauma, I meant to say drama. But we can be traumatized by our decision making, by not following our right mind, by not doing what we were supposed to do. But we've been there, done that. This is not a judgment call. This is something to help us guide us, to help guide us to do better, to talk better, and to be better. If we are looking to know our true self, we need to seek out what that true self is, which is connected to our purpose of serving people and pleasing God. So, and I mean, people do what they want to do, but I mean, and listening to me, when I tell you, when you experience this walk with the Creator and seeing how it's like, it can be shown better than it can be told to you. Everybody has their own life experiences, so it's like it needs to be catered to you, and at the same time you need to understand this language and how this language operates, how this world operates, how we are to operate in this earth serving a purpose. So connected with this, I got to get down to this next question, and we have how to maneuver through the flesh and still remain in your purpose. So here we are first. We have something to do because we have this questions. Who are we? Who is God? Who is the Creator? What is this truth that I'm seeking? In previous, I get reminders, please like, subscribe, and share. If any of these messages help you, please share them with others. But in a past video that I had, it was discussing how being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your desires, being true to yourself, and being having those difficult conversations with yourself and being honest with the response, allowing honesty to be in your response. You have to believe. So I remember coming from and growing up in the hood. I remember there was, forgive me if you all hear, that's my mom calling. Hey, mommy, I'm recording. I'm sorry, I'll call you back. But I remember in growing up in the hood where, some dangerous areas. And I remember growing up being at a point where we all thought we couldn't trust ourselves due to decisions that we made. And that's like, now it's hitting me as to why we really couldn't trust ourselves, because we didn't have the true wisdom that we really need. It's one thing in having street wisdom, but that's only partial wisdom. But yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, that's like street right there. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So as God is letting me know, see, in these words that is letting you know what is protecting you, what is with you, it is giving you seed of faith. So how we're going about how we're going about recognizing these things is actually seeking this out. We have ASK, ask, seek, and knock. If you're asking, it will be given to you. I got it written down. Ask, ask, and you shall receive. Seek, you shall find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. The thing about this is, and learning seeing the stuff with artificial intelligence, the stuff that man is making to give the illusion that it is greater than its own creator, which is man, make it make sense. But in that, we have to get to a point where we're asking truthful questions. We're asking questions that are not just so selfish, that's just the benefit of just us, because in following the will of God, we are not only, let me reword that, in following the will of God, we're not only serving his purpose, but we are benefiting from that, and so are others. It's like your cup is running over. But when you're only desiring, when you're only fulfilling your will, my people, where is your source for your cup to run over? So I was watching The Secret a long time ago. Well, actually, forgive me, I watched it recently, and I realized that they said, we can attract all these things. Greater is the power in you than the power is in the world. My people, your power is limited. We have Solomon as a great example. Solomon was so wise, so rich. He had such an abundance, and he was able to, I don't even want to make it as if that's how he was able to just maintain his stuff. He was able to maintain his peace throughout having knowledge and wisdom and all that understanding and so forth and all those riches. He was able to maintain his peace and his love and joy as long as he was staying connected with God. But as long as he used the gifting, his superpower that was given to him from God, as long as he used it and did not seek his counsel, but just went upon his own counsel because he was so wise. Sometimes we get so used to our own stuff. It's like, we know what we doing. Please don't go there. Pride comes before a fall. Bro, that fall hurts thy bottom. And so it's like, you always want to stay connected. You always want to be in the knowing, and being in the knowing and in that connection with the Creator who knows all things. That is what's going to help your cup run over. When you get to a point where you're just following your own knowledge, you see how the tree of knowledge and good and evil brought upon death. And it's only because, what you think is good and what you think is evil, and it has nothing to do with what you thought, because it's bigger than you. It's bigger than what you think. And it's like, no matter if you're looking at yourself from the perspective of a giant and how you can look down upon the ants are serving a mighty purpose to us. Or you can look at yourself on how there are such great things in the sky and such vastness of the ocean, and you seem so teeny tiny. You are purposeful. Instead of focusing on yourself, focus on things that are bigger than you. Focus on God. Focus on love. So, in how to maneuver through the flesh and still remain in purpose, we're recognizing the reality of a thing. So we done been there, done that, right? So we know what it is. We know what that feels like. So now we have to be in a place and intentionally changing our habits. We start off, because I'm freestyling this. I didn't write much of this down. You're seeking out the information. You're constantly keeping your mind. You are working your mind. You are not allowing your mind to work you. Because once your mind starts working it has the opportunity to get that chitter chatter. Oh, I can't believe they did this to me. Oh, this happened, such and such. This is going to get you in a place of constantly speaking lack. That is, see, if we're now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, we're now taking out that faith and putting in fear. So it's like now we're putting faith in fear, and that's not what we want to do. So we are keeping things in our focus. I want you to, we go to the show? I no longer go to the show, but I used to go to the show. I'll watch it on on TV now, but remember how it used to be when we were at the show? I know you remember. You remember that, right? So everything would be black, and it will force you to have tunnel vision on the screen. Everything is black around you except the light in front of you. And your focus is on that screen. You now have the choice of what you are gonna be tunnel vision about. So you're gonna make up in your mind. It first takes you to make up in your mind that you are tired. I am tired of this mess. I don't want to deal with this mess no more. And once you have made that up in your mind, you are now making the decisions of change. You are now willing to accept change and willing to change the things that you can change, which are your habits, and making a difference. So let's just see. We have this example of you getting a temptation. It's like, come on, babe. You know what this is. You know this feel good. You know how I made you feel the last time you came over here. And it was like, yes, you better remember. Because I'm going to need you to remember clearly. Don't just remember the stuff that tastes good. Baby, let me tell you something. I am lactose intolerant. I miss pizza. But I remember exactly how it felt the last time I had me some pizza. Baby, I don't miss it that much. So, I remember it. I remember how tasty it was. But I remember more the damaging effects that it had brought upon my body for days. I tell you, days. And we ain't just talking about no past. Excuse me. It felt like an atomic bomb was up in there, and it was, we're in here, we ain't coming out. And that's not a good feeling. So just like that gas that's tagging on to that, this is how those desires, they'll hook you on with the memory of it used to tasting good. But you need to actually be for real with yourself. Like, is this something that we really want? I mean, we done made up our mind to do these things. Is this really gonna benefit us? Yeah, okay, it feels good. So right here, you recognize there is a weakness. When we are weak, he is made strong. So now you are recognizing, like, Daddy. I be hearing people say Sky Daddy, which I think that's very interesting. But there's a thing where you just talk to him and you are giving this to him. You are giving him your worries, your burdens, I don't care if you was getting ready to do something to somebody, if you have done something to somebody, if it's some sexual stuff, if you want to take something from somebody, this is where this conversation is had. Another reason why I like the Bible. There are so many different peopling up in there, and it's just like, they did that, and God's still cool with them. And it's like, even though we do what we did, doesn't necessarily make us who we are. But we have within us, especially if we go ahead and let him in and get to talking to him, we have within us to let us know that what we had in the past or what happened, I don't care if it was yesterday, 5 seconds ago, we have the ability to use those pains, those hurts, those dramas, those traumatizations, those mistakes that we made to not only make a better us, but to make a better people. Because baby, when I fall and I let you know and it's a crack up there, I'm gonna warn you it's a crack there. I mean, it's up to you if you want to walk over there, you feel like you could jump over it, you could whatever, but I still would like to be able to be in a position, if I'm able to give you the wisdom that of the things that I've experienced through God and through life to help you understand you don't have to experience everything. Experience can be an awesome teacher, but you don't have to experience everything to gain what you need to gain from that lesson. So the board part, this is coming in and how you're maneuvering through the flesh and still remaining on your purpose. You have to keep in mind what your purpose is. If you don't know what your purpose is, that's something else to fill your time. So when you're recognizing, the minute you are recognizing you're watching something on TV that is not edifying you, you are scrolling on something on social media and it has you feeling a certain type of way, be aware of your own feelings. Be aware of your own thoughts. Stuff that you are recognizing you're feeling weak about, even if it's something that you still wanted. Put it on the table. Present it to God. Let him, I'm having issues with this. It's nothing wrong with talking to him about it and being real. But also be willing to open up and be in quietness, in silence to receive those answers. You start practicing being truthful with yourself. You start practicing seeking out truth. You're going to be in the habit of wanting and desiring of receiving truth. You're gonna want to be in the habit of telling people the truth, telling yourself the truth, because it really starts off with you lying to yourself. And you have to, somewhere it's the scripture, because my mother reminds me that when you lie to other people, you don't love them. And I always feel like, baby, let us not take that personally, because if they're lying to you, they are lying to themselves, and they are not loving themselves. So this is what we're working on. We're going to work on loving ourselves. We're seeking out the truth. If we want to know who our true self is, let's make time to seek out our true self. Our true. And seeking out the truth. I hope that answers your questions. Please feel free to ask me any more questions. And if need be, I can always this conversation can go on and on and on. I can always make another video. So have a great day. We're working on changing our habits, and ask. ASK. Ask, seek, and knock. Have a great day.